Hello friends, in the present video we will understand how to calculate internal rate of return, that is IRR, in as well as what are the steps that are involved in calculation process, that we will understand with the one solved problem, accept and reject rule even we will understand. The capital budgeting other videos like NPV and payback period calculation and introduction of capital budgeting, those videos are already available. The link of those videos will be shared in I button as well as in the description box. Please watch those videos for better understanding of the subject. So what do you mean by internal rate of return? Here, internal rate of return is refers to a discounting factor, a percentage, a discounting factor at which the present values of cash inflows will be equals to the present value of cash outflows, that is investment. In the sense what? Our inflow will be equal to our outflow, where our net present value will be 0. So our NPV will be 0. That percentage of discounting factor is called as internal rate of return, called as IRR. We will understand how to calculate IRR. Here we have segregated the procedure into 5 steps. Step 1, calculate factor. See, this factor calculation may be taken, may be omitted even. I will explain while working out the problem. Right? So calculate factor. What is this factor? Factor is equals to investment divided by average cash inflow. So what is the investment you made in the project divided by average cash inflow? You will get certain factor, certain like 5.2, 5.00 or 2 point something factor. You will get some value, you will get numerical value. What you have to do, step 2, you have to plot this factor value in present value of annuity table. Which table? Present value of annuity table, by taking the life of the project as base. Right? Suppose the project life is 4 years, you take the 4 years as base and try to locate this factor into certain range of percentage. Right? Once you locate that certain range of percentage, we can call it as a vague range in between our IRR may lies. It may be possible, may not be possible. IRR may be something else also. That's the reason why we are calling it as a vague range. So we will get a range at which the IRR can be located. Right? So first calculate factor, then once you calculate the factor, locate the factor on present value of annuity table by taking life of the project as base. Right? At which percentages it will be taking place. Right? Once you calculate that, you will get a vague range. Then step 3, calculate positive NPV. So you select the nearest to that vague range any percentage and calculate NPV and try to find it as a positive NPV. And step 4 is calculate negative NPV. In the sense what? Where 0 lies between positive and negative. Therefore, what we have to do, we need to find two NPVs. One should be a positive NPV, another one should be a negative NPV. Once you find both the NPVs, that is positive and negative, then you can apply the 5th step, that is formula for calculation of final IRR. The formula will be base rate plus positive NPV divided by positive NPV plus negative NPV. See, negative NPV here you don't take minus, just it is a summation, positive and negative both summation, that's all, into D. D stands for difference between positive NPV percentage and negative NPV percentage, where base rate is equals to rate of percentage at which we get positive NPV. Base rate, suppose at 10% we are getting positive NPV, that is our base rate, and 15% we are getting negative NPV, that is our end rate. So base rate plus positive NPV divided by positive plus negative. So it won't be minus, it will be plus only. into difference between the base rate and end rate. So D stands for difference between the base rate and end rate. Clear? So like this you apply the formula and proceed for the finishing of the finding of answer, right? Accept and reject criteria. What is the rule of accept and reject for investments? In case of IRR, when it is an independent project and mutually exclusive project, in both the cases, when it is an independent project, more than cutoff rate, always industry will have certain cutoff rate like 10%, 15%, 20%. That cutoff rate should be, in the sense what, our IRR should be more than that cutoff rate, then we can accept the project. Otherwise we can reject the project. In case of mutually exclusive, in the sense what, two projects, independent project, compete with each other. In such a case, highest IRR will be selected. Suppose project A and project B. Project A is giving 10%, project B is 12%. Therefore, which one is accepted? Project B, as it is giving highest IRR. Clear? So, like this, we need to make a decision criteria. Now, we will question, right? So, this is one question we will try to understand. A company has to select one of the following projects. Project A and project B, cost of the project 22,000, 20,000, cash inflows 1, 2, 3, 4 years, 12, 4, 2, 10, then 2,000, 2,000, 4,000 and 20,000 final year. So like this, we have given two projects. Using the internal rate of return method, suggest which is the preferable project. So what did we understand regarding mutually exclusive? Highest IRR should be selected. So this is the question. We will try to solve the problem. First, we'll take up project A. So project A we have taken, again I have taken the question, right? So step 1, calculate factor calculation formula. Investment, our investment is 22,000 divided by average cash inflow is 7,000 is equals to 3.14 we are getting. So how I got 7,000? 7,000 is equals to average cash inflow will be summation of cash inflow 28,000 divided by 4 is equals to 7,000. That is 12 plus 4 plus 2 plus 10. That is 28,000 divided by 4. So once we got 3.14, we got factor. This factor is to be located on a present value of cash inflow, present value of annuity table by taking 4 years as base. So I did not do that process, right? Here I am unable to show it by location of locating the what we call factor on a present value of annuity table. But bear in mind, this step you can skip, even one need not to calculate. This gives us only a vague range, not exact IRR, right? Just vague range it will give, right? It may be, it may not be, right? That's the reason why this step you can omit. But most important, what we require two NPVs for calculation of IRR. Bear in mind, one should be positive, another one should be negative. That's all. If these two NPVs you have calculated, then you can calculate IRR. But the most important problem arises here is, at which percentage we get positive, at which percent we get negative, we don't know, right? So randomly you select any percentage. So now I am doing NPV calculation. I am doing, just see what the procedure is, as we have already explained the NPV, how to calculate NPV. That video is also available. Even I will share that video in the link box already. So you can see in the description box also. Here cash inflow present value factor at 10% I have taken. Randomly I have selected 10%. Then present value of cash inflow, any percentage you can select. So here 1 to 4, cash inflows 12, 4, 2, 10. Present value factors that will be available in the table, or you can calculate also by mathematical formula. Regarding that video already made. So I will even share that link also. So 0.909, 826, 75 and 683. These are the present value factors at 10%. So multiply with cash inflow, you will get present value of cash inflows, that is 12,000 into 0.909, 10,908, 4,000 into 0.826, 3,304, so on we will get for 4 years. Once you get this present value of cash inflows, make the summation, that will be 22,544. This is called as present value of cash inflows minus investments, that is our 22,000 investment we made. So how much we are getting? We are getting positive NPV of 544, in the sense 544 rupees we are getting positive NPV. Now at this percentage 10% we got positive NPV, one more we need to get negative NPV. Now you need to just listen to me carefully. At this 10% you got positive NPV and one more negative NPV you require. Then how to calculate negative NPV? At 10% you are getting positive, just increase the percentage to get the negative NPV. In the sense you take 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, so on. Any increased percentage you take, right? But suppose, presume that if you are getting a 10% negative NPV itself, then how to get positive NPV? Decrease the percentage. Clear? So that's the reason why at 10% I am getting positive NPV, I need to get a negative NPV. Then what I have to do? I am increasing the percentage. So what I am doing? I am taking 12% to get a negative NPV. Sir, what will happen if I don't get a 12% negative NPV? Then further increase the percentage to get the negative NPV. Right? That is only the process, because it's a trial and error method. IRR calculation is one of the difficult calculations in the capital budgeting. It's a trial and error method. Right? So present value of cash inflows. Again, I am calculating NPV at 12%. Same year cash inflows I am taking, present value factors at 12% I have taken. That is 0.89779712,636. So multiply with the cash inflows, you will get present value of cash inflows 10,716, so on till 6,380. Make the summation, you will get present value of cash inflows minus investment, you will get 22,000 is your investment. Here you are getting a negative NPV, that is 312. Right? So we got positive NPV at 10%, and at 12% we got negative NPV. So our IRR lies between 10 and 12%. That is the final. Once we got this 10 and 12%, that is positive NPV, negative NPV, just directly apply the final formula to get the answer. What is the final formula for IRR calculation? Base rate plus positive NPV plus divided by positive plus negative NPV into D. What is our base rate? Base rate is 10% plus positive NPV is 544 is the positive NPV, plus, that is, see, ultimately it should be plus. So 544 minus of minus 312 will be plus. So directly plus symbol I kept, right? So minus and plus you don't watch, direct make the summation. So 544 plus 312. Then difference between the positive NPV and negative NPV would be how much? 2. That is 10 minus 12 minus 10, 2. Then simplify the equation. 10% plus 544 divided by 856. Ultimately 544 plus 312 should be made summation. So 856 into 2. The final percentage is 10 plus 1.27. 544 divided by 856 into 2 you have to do. Right? Then 10 plus 1.27 is equals to 11.27 is our IRR. In the sense what? At this percentage, if you calculate NPV, your NPV will be 0. Clear? So this is our IRR. So like this we calculated for the project A. So in the same way we calculate for the project B even. So project B I have taken. So the same way we calculate factor. So 20,000 is the investment divided by average cash inflow. Average is 28,000. Again, it is also getting divided by 4 is 7,000. So 2.857. But I will put this project what we call factor setting aside. I require 2 NPVs. One should be a positive, another one should be a negative. So first I'll take up, will calculate NPV at 15%. I am calculating randomly. I have selected 15%. right? So present value of cash inflows. So years 1, 2, 3, 4, cash inflows 2000, 2000, 4000 and 20,000. So then present value of cash inflows, sorry, present value factor at 15%, 0.870756657572. So these factors I have calculated. This can be located, this can be taken from the table, present value table, or you can apply the formula and find out the answer. Link will be available regarding this video, how to calculate. So present value of cash inflows we need to calculate. So 2000, 2000, 4000 and 20,000. So like that we have to multiply with the present value factors, then we will get the present value of cash inflows, make the summation. So this is present value of cash inflows minus investment 20,000. So we are getting negative NPV. So what is happening at 15%? I am getting a negative NPV. I need to get positive NPV. So what did I say earlier slide? That we need to reduce the percentage to get a positive NPV. To get a negative NPV, we need to increase the percentage. So again, one more NPV I will calculate by taking 10% as our present value factor. So at 15% we got negative NPV. Now I will take about 10% for calculation of positive NPV. So here cash inflows, present value factor at 10%, then present value of cash inflows multiplied with the present value factor, summation present value of cash inflows minus investment 20,000. So we got what NPV, that is positive NPV 134. So at 10% positive, at 15% negative. Once we got these two, apply the formula. So base rate is 10%, positive NPV is 134 divided by 134 plus 2680, directly plus, no minus symbol we need to get. Ultimately it should be summation into 5. 5 is the difference between 10 and 15, right? So simplify the equation, you will get the answer 10 plus 134 divided by 2814 into 5. Therefore 10 plus 0.24. Right? How did I got 0.24? 134 divided by 2814, 2814. We have division we made, then multiplication with 5. Then we got 0.24. Right? Is equals to 10.24 is our IRR. So at this percentage, our NPV would be 0. Clear? So like this you need to calculate. Don't get panic about the factor. Leave the factor aside. Just calculate one positive NPV, one negative NPV, find out the answer of IRR. That is fine. If you get at 10%, you are at particular percent, you are getting positive NPV. To get negative NPV, increase the percentage. First you got negative NPV, how to get positive NPV? Decrease the percentage. That's all. Clear? So like this you can calculate. Thank you very much. I hope I made you understand the concept of IRR, which is very difficult concepts of capital budgeting. And thank you very much for watching my video. Please do subscribe my channel and motivate me to make more qualitative videos. And your support is highly appreciated. Your support is in the form of subscription, sharing to other student community, as well as giving your likes, as well as giving your comments wherever you don't find it appropriate. You just give me, let me know. Corrections are highly appreciated, right? Thank you very much. Please do subscribe my channel.